All right, guys, it is 8 o'clock, and we are going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and begin. No, this is not a replacement for Architect's podcast. Architect is currently taking a break from Smash stuff, I believe. So she, I believe, is her pronouns now, are taking a break. This is a separate podcast called the Kayo Show. I don't know why chat's not showing up. Well, actually, you know what? I do know why. Yeah, there it is. So, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started today. As you can tell, the G is not here. He is currently dying. Not literally, but he's sick. So we are going to do the show without him. So everybody send love his way. I believe he is in chat watching.
Geek, nerd, feel better, bro.
Yeah, hopefully I think he's in here. He was just laughing at Oklahoma's press conference. So I believe he's going to be in here. But yeah, so today we're going to be kind of going over tournaments that's been going on. Then we're going to go into our welcome to Smash moment, which I think is going to be quite a fun talk. I have a great one, in my opinion. I don't know what yours is, but mine's pretty freaking good. And then from there, if we have time, we might go on to some other questions. Or we'll do Twitch chat questions for sure, but I have another topic that we might go over if I feel like it. Okay? That being said, I'm KOB.
Oh, and I'm Noah. What's up, guys?
There we go. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So, literally as of an hour ago, Sunday school just ended, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is the first tournament in 3 weeks, I think, for Sunday school, right?
It's been a while. So they skipped a week due to Battle Bowl, and then they picked back up. So yeah, I think 3 weeks is right, but it might be 2 weeks. Who knows?
So I mean, Sunday school is one of the best tournaments I think I've been to in a while. Mostly in terms of like the weekly aspect, it has a very old school style feel. Like I don't know. No, were you around when Salty Deserts were in Abilene?
No. Maybe like one of them? No, I don't
Is
think
that
so.
the Magic or at the Gathering Place?
I've been to the Gathering Place, but I don't think I've ever played there. Because by the time I got there, it was late 2018. No,
Yeah, that was way after.
2019. So
Yeah, old school Salty Deserts. I could be very biased because that was my first tournament, but it felt very homey. Like
yeah.
you go to the Did you go to the old Gathering Place with all the rooms and all that stuff and the couch?
Yeah.
So it was like it was just a bunch of people hanging out playing a tournament, but it also was very competitive at the same time, and it just felt like a Smash community, which I really liked. Which I felt like other tournaments sometimes that like lounges don't have that same kind of aesthetic, and that's what I feel like LCU is able to do, like kind of build community in that sense.
Yeah.
They have a lot of good setups and different things like that. The only problem I had the last time I was there was I couldn't find a gosh darn GameCube adapter to save my life. That's on me.
All these new gens, bro, using pro controllers, dude.
They don't understand
So
what this thing
gross.
is. Like, look at this thing. It's perfect. Use it.
Dude, mine's so pretty. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, those are cherry blossoms?
Yeah.
This is... Here's my nerd. Okay, guys, don't judge.
I
Okay?
just spent too much money on controller to not use it, dude.
This is mine, okay? And Gimmicks, who is in chat, designed the red buttons and the blue. Do you need to get down? Okay, hold on a second. Go, dog. Go. Go, bear. What's it called? This is mine. Diani, Gimmicks in chat, did it. And if you guys didn't know, KOB is because I'm a nerd and like Sword Art Online. And it's the guild that one of the people was in. So Diani made me a KOB-themed controller. It broke because I was SDIing Bayonetta. And it messed up the stick. I had to get a new one. I took it to Rise and Grind, actually. I was like, hey, can y'all check if it's messed up? They're like, oh, we don't see anything wrong. So I started using it, and then I couldn't run again. I was like, liars. It wasn't even Rose. It was Smash 4, dude. Smash 4 Bayo. I played, actually, Memphis, and then I played Hot Dog Night. Back-to-back at LTC. I placed 33rd in Smash 4, but like playing it was a Game 5 and a Game 4 with a Bayo back-to-back.
Yeah.
When you're playing for your life, you're going to break a controller. I remember my whole arm was hurting. Like, I'm joking. I was going. But,
Pull up to your next weekly with a shooter sleeve, trying to keep it tight. Yeah.
I'm telling you, it was tough. shout out to the boys being behind Memphis at when Memphis was like 15 years old, talking smack, to give me an advantage.
Hey,
Gimmicks.
we'll pay it back tenfold this weekend, right? I'll be ready for that.
And then Hot Dog Knight decided to destroy me, and his main partner was a Pikachu, so that is what it is. But let's go ahead and get into it. Let's switch the thing. Boom. So we have the bracket here. I mean, here's my quick, and I said very quick. I told no, I'm going to rant a little bit. Okay. I think it's dumb that we have two tournaments a month. Okay. And I hear a lot that we don't have enough tournaments where people can like want to go their best, and then we do with out of town people, and then we're not going our best. To me, that makes no sense whatsoever. Mostly just because it's like you want tournaments to be taken serious, but I understand you are better than others, very much so. But if you're not going to try in the sets that really matter, and it's going to just mess up the PR in the long run anyway, it's like, what are we doing? Cue Taylor Twellman. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? I understand wanting to go in and have fun and do all this stuff. Like, I am seeing here that it says Vibe went Pokemon Trainer against Trey in winter semis. I didn't see that set, so
Yeah, he did. It was not close.
so then I guess like he's like, okay, well I'm gonna go my secondaries, but I would much rather see personally.
And then winners finals was secondaries, but like Spritzy and Vibe both have good secondaries.
Yeah, and at least it's consistent secondaries throughout. It looks like not Lucas. Yeah. Sora, I've seen him play a decent amount.
I think he went all Sora at the. It was close for half of game 2. Yeah, that means it's not close. Man. The second, the grand set looked a lot better than the
yeah, set did. And it's to me it's just frustrating because I hear a lot like, man, we just don't try at these tournaments, and I'm like, it's a choice, genuinely. Like you can play like the top 3 playing hard every single week can get you guys better, but whatever. Top 3 for this was Vibe, Trey, which was really awesome, and Spritzy. I believe it's 3rd place. Yep.
Yeah, I mean Trey making yet another very impressive run. I think we talked about another Trey run last time we did the show, and so it's nice to see some level of consistency in his play. Brax over Cannons. Look, Cannons is rusty. Cannons is old. Yep. Cannons is a has-been. All right. So to see him lose so early, probably earlier than you may expect him to, probably earlier than he was seeded to go out, I don't think should be too shocking. You know, he's traveling a lot. He's in a relationship. He doesn't have time for the game.
Real world.
So, like, that's just what it is, man. That's just what it is.
And I don't know if you got to watch that set, but it was a good one.
It was close, yeah.
Like, the switch to Inkling, I was like...
skeptical.
But, I mean, that's his soul main. But Peach is broken.
Peach is the best kind of broken. You know what I mean? She's broken in the way you want characters to be broken, where she's very high skill cap.
Okay, yeah.
Very high execution for a very high reward, which I think is where you want your good characters to be.
Yeah, like I think she's a healthy top tier. I will say that.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's the thing people don't get. Like, and this might be a hot take, but I also think Rob is a healthy top tier. I think he's easier, but he has enough weaknesses where it's kind of similar to Fox in Melee, where the character has enough weaknesses that it can be exploited.
Yeah.
So personally, it's a healthy top tier. Yeah, are they good? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are they better than a lot of the cast? Yes.
Absolutely.
But they're not broken, right?
Not broken in the way where they literally, warp the entirety of the game around them, like we've seen.
Yes.
Some characters do. So.
Which Rob is one of the most popular characters, which we'll get into a little shortly in another tournament. But other things I thought was interesting. I mean, Nationwide not making top 8 clearly.
Okay, you messaged me because you were upset with Oster at first.
But now I'm not as upset.
Okay, I'm glad you're not, because I'm actually really happy with what he's doing. Last week we talked about how he needs to be picking up Cloud in order to deal with all these BS top tiers that are in this game now. The meta in 2023 is so that he can not just simply sit on his laurels, drop back, cheese people with Bowser Jr., swap to Sephiroth and lose when it doesn't work. But no, he's putting effort in. to pick up a good character so
Yep.
that when he travels to compete in these bigger tournaments, he has a good shot at taking down like these modern 2023 top tiers, which I think
Yeah.
is what you need. Like if that's your plan, if your plan is to go to Rise and Grind, if your plan is to go to LTC and perform at a high level, you're not beating Steve with Bowser Jr. You're just not.
But theoretically, Sephiroth is a bad matchup.
I don't care. Cloud's a worse matchup.
Yeah, I am a big
And Cloud is better against more characters than Sephiroth is.
I'm a big believer in Cloud. I personally think the character is top 5. That character is crazy good. Not only that, he's also very good in doubles. So if you like doubles, also very minor rant. You watch doubles. You've played doubles. Why do people not use finishing touch anymore? Like, why did that stop?
What do you mean? Spargo
when
did
I watched-
fair to finishing touch like 3 weeks ago or something.
I'm talking in doubles. People like when I talk about
Like
doubles,
comboing into it?
yeah, I don't hear anybody being like, "Yeah, Cloud's not one of the top 5 doubles characters." Like, what do you mean? You can kill everybody at 50%.
Yeah.
I used to
No,
watch Tino and Oscar miss that combo all the time. It's just- Cloud is definitely top 5 though. The character is nuts.
I don't know if like in a vacuum, like on paper, the character is top 5. I do think that in 2023, when you put him against the rest of the cast and like how like high level is played, I think there's a good argument for it.
He just does good against
it's
everybody.
a weird way to say it, but like, you know, I think Cloud's just so good against the characters that are top 5. You know,
I'm also I don't believe that Aegis is very good right now. We don't have a singular Aegis in Lubbock or West Texas actually. Do we have any?
it depends on what you mean. We got some pockets.
Yeah, I don't know. That character, to me, is a struggle. But, yeah, Nationwide getting 9th place. Doing pretty good. I mean, going game 3 with both Trey and Sheer Cold, both good players.
And it's not like, this may sound weird, but like I don't think the Lucas matchup is like great for either of them. It feels like once Cloud's off stage, it's like so free for Lucas
so
to
dead.
just, but I don't know.
But theoretically, how does he get in, I guess, because back air is that strong?
Yeah, exactly. Like once both characters are on stage, it feels like it's so easy for Cloud. But I guess that's just how the matchup plays out.
I will say, though, this is one thing I was thinking about. I think we finally got an actual rivalry in Lubbock.
Which one?
I'm not... Brax is Sheer Cold. They play so much. Let me see if I can find PG stats. But, like, they play so much, and it's... You never know who's gonna win. And I don't know, like, I think they're friends. So, like, the modern rivalry is they're your friends, but, like, oh, that's not good. Let's see, go ahead. Yeah, they've played 5 times, and he's been here, I think it's every tournament, 2020, or 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. They've played it all, should have text. And now add in,
Today as well.
yeah. And so now it's 2-4 in favor of Sheer Cold, and I think they also played in Midland. That one was on Challenge. But these two guys, like every set they go to, usually goes game 5. So I think this is one that we should keep an eye on in regards to like when it's on stream or up.
It's a good set.
Might want to put it on, because I know Brax doesn't like fighting Jake, and Jake doesn't like fighting Brax. And to me, those are always the funnest sets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like our scene needs more of that. Like a little like friendly rivalry, obviously.
Yeah. Sometimes talking a little smack.
Somebody to push you to get better.
And I'm all for smack talk, like thinking you're better than somebody else, like telling them. But clearly there's a line, which we won't go too deep into. But yeah, other than that, I mean, this tournament kind of went as played. Spritzy, my whole topic, and Noah can attest, I fully expected Spritzy to win.
Yeah.
And I was going to talk about how Spritzy's running away with everything.
I mean, it's hard to see any West Texas bracket where Spritzy's entered and not expect him to win at this point.
But when you mess around and go Pac-Man, that bad Pac-Man.
Look, the Pac-Man, it didn't look great, but Trey looked really good.
Trey did look good, and that's one thing we will, talk about. I mean, like, you go game 5 with Brax, which was a very close set. I saw the bomb kill, I think it was, to kill Terry at the end, which I've told Brax before, and I'm still stand by this, you should not switch from Kazuya.
Dude, I think that's like in the mental stack battle between these two players, you have to wonder between games how much of your mental goes towards like panicking about whether or not you should switch characters. And then
Yeah.
Trey just doesn't have that. You know,
Yeah.
he only plays the Link. He doesn't have to worry about, man, is this matchup better for this character or that character? It's like, no, like good matchup, bad matchup. I'm gonna play my best on my soul character, which I think is
Yeah.
admirable. And so, like, I don't know. I feel like the more weight you remove from your mental stack, the better you can perform. The more you have room to think about, you know, what they're doing, what their habits are, how you're going to punish them, etc., etc. And so, I don't know. It's just something to think about. I always think like when somebody switches, it's like, oh, they're losing the mental battle.
Yeah. I as a person who has, I have two characters. I have Pikachu and Pit.
Yeah.
There's times where I'm losing with Pikachu, and I'm mid game. I'm like, I'm thinking maybe
Yeah.
Pit might be the what is it? Might be the play here.
Yeah.
I was doing that against Paulo Kage, and I was like, switch to Pit. It did not go better.
No.
I should have just stayed Pikachu. But no, I think especially with a character like Kazuya in this level of play, I think if you play a character that can literally kill off a hit, all you gotta do is just get a hit. And I understand that sometimes you want to switch. Terry does do a lot better against zoners, but in reality, like I always say this, like same with Steve, why he doesn't have any losing matchups is the fact that if you can hit somebody and win automatically, it doesn't really matter in the end. But yeah, so congrats to Vibe getting a win with his secondaries.
I do want to say one other thing. There was one moment, I think it was Trey Spritzy, where like Trey was like very close to being dead and he up Bs like from below ledge. And like the second to last hit of the up B clips Spritzy. The last hit flips him to the other side and just kills him at like 110. I hate Link, dude. I hate Link. Anyway.
I hate Link there. That move beats every single one of Pikachu's moves.
I just think Link up B is so corny, dude. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say.
But yeah, so congrats to that. I believe, I think Vibe also won the Tech Weekly. I did not look into, all three weeklies are on the same day, which sucks. So it's really impossible to watch all of them. But usually Bams and Grants.
I know Iceman won the Abilene Weekly. So.
Oh, that's good. That's the first win?
No, it's not his first one, but he doesn't win them as frequently as like Tobo or Blank or.
That's a Bayo play, right?
Yeah.
I'm a Bayo believer.
Nah.
Been a Bayo. That character's crazy still.
The character's good, but not
I'm
crazy.
a believer. But all right, so a few more tournaments. This also involves Noah. A lot of his players travel to Rewired Fest.
Well, two of them, but yeah.
Two of them. A lot, per quote. But that was in Fayetteville, Arkansas, which I don't know how far away it is.
5
but
hours, I think, from DFW.
So a good Lubbock regional.
Yeah.
West Texas tournament.
Yeah.
But this tournament had major hitters. Spargo, Budace, Glutony, Light. Mars was there. Beastly was there. Beastly's now in that conversation personally. But yeah, so I'll kind of let you take it away if you want to talk about this, because I know you're a lot more well-versed in regards to your players, and that's kind of what I want to talk about.
Well, you know, we were pretty nervous going into this week because we knew the brackets ahead of time.
Yeah.
And if you've ever looked at Beastly's Twitter, there's one character that he does not want to play against ever. Under any, well, really, there's two characters he doesn't want to play against under any circumstance. One of them is Steve, and one of them is Wario. He hates Wario, dude. And so, like, not only is that a bad matchup for Diddy Kong, but like, to look at your bracket and know that one of the top 5 best players in the world, who plays the character you hate more than any other character in the game, is the person standing in front of you to make top 8 at this mega stacked event. It's like, oh, come on. This could not have gone any worse for me. But I don't know if,
play well.
Did you watch the set?
Yeah.
He was so good.
And what me and Grayson were talking about, because we were watching it together.
Yeah.
Beastly plays so vastly different from Tweak.
Yeah.
Like Grayson was saying, he finds himself more in Beastly than he does in Tweak, right? Because Tweak is I'm going to play you until time.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not going to go for confirm sometimes. I'm going to, like, and I mean this nicely if Tweak finds this podcast, but like sometimes it feels like he overthinks, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just like doing what works.
No.
And Beastly was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just run
I'm
forward.
gonna hit you. Yeah, I'm gonna hit you.
And it caught him off guard. He got the game, and then was it the final game he SD'd? I think.
Yeah, so, I think it was the game 3.
But like overall, Beastly played well.
No,
and
like that was a very winnable set.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It was definitely winnable.
Yeah.
And I think that sorry, I was laughing at what chat said, like any Make-A-Wish kid get up here whopped. I don't know about that one, but no, like I was really impressed with the play. I mean, also beating Jigglypuff, I believe Beastly went Diddy Kong in that matchup too, which can be seen as tough. But then we go into like, your other player, Atomic, right? Played Spargo. I heard that one wasn't as.
So some of the game, he had like a 2-stock. He was up 3 stocks to 1 against Spargo in game 1. Like was legitimately outplaying him like pretty hard, and then he kind of got top player diff. Like to be honest, like Spargo just adapted really well, and I don't think Atomic knew how to handle it because like you're in that situation too where you're like, I'm playing the best player in the world for a $15,000 prize pool, and I'm winning, and it's like you're there and you're like, I didn't expect to be here. What do I do? Like, how do I close this out? Like, I did not expect to be put in this situation. And so, like, Spargo made a lot of really good adjustments in that first game. And games 2 and 3 were close. It wasn't, like, it's a 3-0, but it wasn't, like, a blowout 3-0.
Okay.
Like, he probably should have won game 1. And, you know, I say if you can win a game, you can win a set, which means probably should have taken the next 2 too, but it is what it is. But
his run didn't end, right?
No. Go down to losers. He has to play against Apollo Kage. He was hoping for Beast Mode Paul going into the event. We were looking at the bracket. He said, I'm probably not going to beat Spargo based on, you know, how good he is at the matchup, based on how, you know, he's a different tier player, essentially. He's like, but I know I can beat Beast Mode Paul. Yeah. But then Beast Mode Paul comes in. He's like, hey, maybe Hero's like actually a good character. You ever thought about that? And kind of destroys Apollo Kage. And then comes in. He was kind of on the fence, but he was confident because he played Curry a lot. Curry has a really, really good snake. A lot different than Apollo Kage. He's obviously not as good as Apollo Kage is, but like really good nonetheless. Like he's been playing snake since Brawl. Like it's like, I think it's his soul character in a lot of ways, and so he has a lot of experience in the matchup.
But
no,
yeah,
oh my god! Every time we would travel, we would get in the van, bro. The whole drive, Curry would pull up a list of characters, like a list of every character in the game, and he would go character by character, explaining how that character is better than Sephiroth.
Because he tried to play it in dubs. I'm like, dude,
it's
Sephiroth
so bad,
is not
dude.
good in dubs.
It's so bad.
He's bad.
But yeah, Atomic just playing so patient in that set. He really should have won that game 4, to be honest. That back air not killing at like 140 from center stage, insane. But like, was able to clutch it out in game 5. And yeah, we're really super proud of him.
And then unfortunately, I say Beastly had to play Pac-Man. And
just terrible matchup.
Pac-Man sucks.
Yeah, terrible matchup. Beastly is like cursed to always play really bad matchups. Like
it looks like it
when it matters.
Like, but to speed shot this. I mean, Mudace beat Spargo on an absolute crazy combo.
Oh my God.
Which is funny because in his video talking about whatever, I think it was privilege or something like that. Saying that if you can get one touch and kill a character, like your character is, I forgot the term he used, but basically carry. And shocker, Peach.
It feels so different when Peach does it compared to when Steve does it. It feels so different.
I lost 7 straight sets to Peach, so I hate that character.
That
character's
I lost
to
so
Cannons
cool.
5 times. I go to Rise and Grind, and then I play Oryx, and I was like, this sucks.
That character's so cool, though.
I don't know. I'm a hater. But I appreciate the skill it takes to play a character because float characters are hard. Light Throw and Spargo. Spargo is currently in some sort of rut. He's talking about it on Twitter. We won't go too deep into it, but if you want to look at it, It is on his Twitter talking about basically mental.
Yeah.
And then Light making grands, playing against Gluttony, and Gluttony winning it all, showing that Wario does not suck and is still very good. But yeah, so that's Rewired Fest. Yay. And then the next big tournament, or I guess big, we'll go very small under this. MKLeo won something. Again, that's like 2 Mexican tournaments in a row that MKLeo won with Joker. So maybe Joker is back. I don't think he lost a game. Now that I'm looking at this. Oh, he went. Oh, game 5 with the Kirby. That's the only set he almost lost.
Hey, in Ultimate, you can get matchup checked by anybody.
That's this same Kirby. This same Kirby went game 5 with Spargo. This Kirby player is legit. His name is Gilhu. Keep an eye out, because like people are gonna start wanting this guy to travel out. They're crazy, but yeah, no, I mean, super simple. MKLeo, winning another tournament. Hopefully that means he's coming back. Finally, we get into Kaguribi. This was last night. If any of you guys stayed up to watch this,
Bro, I hate Japanese top 8s because the tournament's so sick and so cool up to top 8, and then you get to top 8 and you're like, wow, this sucks. This is so boring.
What sucks is that we're now in a meta where it's similar to the Mango Zane, where every tournament was Mango Zane, right? Yeah. Now, that was hype for other reasons, because Melee has storylines. Yeah. We have Mia Akola, where both aren't very social, or on view of the American side, not very social on Twitter. Yeah. Not very social on social media. We don't really know anything about these players outside of they play Game & Watch and Steve, and they're in grands of every single Japanese tournament ever. Mm-hmm. So, but this time Mia finally got the win, which is 2 tournaments in a row.
I mean, it's impressive. Lost. That's a hard matchup, from my understanding. So,
enough to where Meister thought he had to go Sora.
Famously,
but it's crazy because that's 2 tournaments in a row. Akola's lost a set, right? No, he lost one. It was like a weekly. He was going Steve and some other characters, but he lost the tournament. He did lose a set to Hurt, right? And then now Mia took 2 sets, so maybe people are figuring the character out.
I don't know. I saw Hungry Box retweet this. It was very funny. But you know, at the end of the Incredibles, when they're at Dash's race, and they're trying to control how fast he's going, so he doesn't get like kicked out.
Maybe that's what's going on.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, maybe he's right. You know what I mean?
I watched him play Zachary, and I was sad. The pit game was not even a minute. Yeah. Then he switched to Joker. That wasn't close, and it's just like, it's so frustrating to watch. I usually try to turn off sets with Steve. If I'm a tournament organizer, I'm not putting on Steve, unless I absolutely have to. Yeah. I understand that your better players are doing it, but speaking of Steve, there are 2 more Steves coming in West Texas, both from El Paso. Quite sad. Hopefully it doesn't stick around, but it breaks my heart thinking of that.
I blame G-Dog, bro.
I do too, actually.
Not able to keep his city in check.
Yeah, so here we are. Actually, the more the merrier. Let's ban them all.
You know, it's kind of crazy because, like, I'm surprised that the talk of the ban isn't more widespread. Like, in collegiate, it's very talked about because he's banned in, like, every collegiate league out there, essentially. And so we don't have to deal with it as much. But, like, I don't know. It's just interesting how these very different groups are able to accomplish either something or nothing, completely contradictory to one another.
And I think what kind of goes into it, right, is like we have this spread of like the top characters for this tournament, and then like you look at Steve, there's only 6, right? But then you look at Rob and Cloud. On top 192, there was 11 Robs and 10 Clouds. So is Steve the problem? Is what I think some of their arguments is.
Yes.
And I still think he is.
Yeah.
As mentioned earlier, I think both these characters are healthy top tiers. I think the fact that he invalidates majority of the cast and has things that really are the best move of the game in every move category.
7 Falcos is wild, dude. That character's terrible.
I don't know what
that character is so bad.
And then, like, we look down here. There's not a single Peach. Pikachu's down here because it sucks.
Yeah.
Bowser Jr. sucks.
Yeah.
Kirby's crazy, but no one knows. Mewtwo's also butt. I've been playing that character in dubs because I love Mewtwo.
Yeah.
This character sucks. But
I mean,
unbelievable.
That being said, too, it's like the Japanese meta has always been pretty divergent and pretty different from the U.S. meta. Like, I mean, for a long time, they thought like Sheik was the best character in the game.
They did,
despite like no Japanese Sheiks being able to come here and put up any results. And so it's like the culture over there is so different. The way they play is so different. The what they value in a character is so different compared to what we value a lot of the time. And so, I don't know.
Like they're more like soul main, like you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm also a believer in the soul main. Like you have to play a character and it has to feel correct.
Yeah.
If you're having to force it, it's not going to work right. But like I'm looking at this right now, and I see there's 5 pits and 6 dark pits. What is happening in Japan?
That's 11 pits. That's the same amount of Robs, dude.
That is crazy. And I know Zachary was going a lot of.
Well, they love Kid Icarus, dude.
They do.
We don't.
Pit is not bad. Let me make sure that's very clear. The character is not bad. He just don't got cheese. And in a game where you need cheese, but since Japan plays a lot more, I don't want to say honorable, but you don't see like the Incineroars. You know, you don't see like these Omega cheesers all the time.
I like the way Coney said it best. He said, "It's hard to play a magician in a game full of wizards," you know, and that's what you're doing when you play a character like that.
I can tell you from experience. Like I love Pit. I actually think that is my soul character.
Yeah.
When I play the game, everything makes a lot more sense. Like I'm able to do edge.
Just play Pit, dude.
But the character is not good enough. You know how people play here?
Just play Pit.
Zachary versus freaking Steve
Look,
was the saddest thing I've ever seen.
It doesn't matter because Chuck Pitt versus some nobody Steve in West Texas, you'll probably be fine. Just be better.
No, I'm not. I don't got that time no more. I'm a doubles Heroes of the Storm.
But think
I
of
played Heroes of the Storm
you
last
do
night.
not play Heroes of the Storm.
I played it last night, bro.
That game is so dead.
Join me tonight.
Oh my god.
Join me tonight. Join me tonight.
That game has not had developers in years.
They made a patch literally 2 weeks ago.
Oh my god.
It was a bug fix patch, but it still counts.
Ridiculous.
That game is great.
But I do want to say, like, think of how am I trying to say this? Think of how much better you can get more quickly when the character feels more natural to how you want to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
And like I think like when a character connects with you on that level, like it accelerates your growth like almost exponentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it.
That's how I feel with Fox right now. I've been playing a lot of Fox, and I'm like, this character just makes sense to me.
That's what Grayson's been playing Fox, and he loves it. And Philip's been getting mad at me because he played with me in dubs yesterday with Mewtwo, and he's like, Chuck, why don't you edge guard like this with Pikachu?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just like, my mindset.
Your brain's in a different place.
Yeah, I think really it's like I'm a lot more having fun, and then I know if I screw it up, Grayson's there to save me.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, like, whenever originally when I was competing a lot, and I switched from Peach to Joker. The main reason I switched was because I had so many habits that I felt like I couldn't get out of that I was just plateauing super hard. So it's like I had to pick a different character in order to move my mind from point A to point B so that I could continue to get better.
Yeah, no,
and maybe that's just what you need to do. Maybe that's what you need to do. Just full-time switch, Pika to Pit. Who cares about top 67 Pikas when you can be top, 20 Pits, bro?
Who knows? We haven't seen the pit list yet. Maybe I'm already on there. We'll see.
Probably not. But
probably not because I haven't got it many in. But the other thing I was going to say before we get into our fun topic is the top 3 of this are the top 3 people on the Smashmate ladder. And I wanted to kind of hear your thoughts on that. If you knew what Smashmate was.
Nope.
So Japan Smash, the game, has an inherent ladder system built into the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's called Smashmate.
Oh.
And
why don't we have that?
Good question. The top 3 players in the world, or in Japan currently, and 2 of the top 3 players in the world, are on that ladder.
Uh-huh.
So people are trying to say that HBox should try to push Anther's ladder back because we did have a ladder. Was it the greatest? No. Did it do its job? Yes. And people are saying maybe we should try to bring that back to have that sort of competitive mindset at all times because no one likes.
Well, I can explain to you why that's not going to work.
Yeah.
The difference when you have it in game is so astronomically different than having it on a third-party website where you have to go out of your way to figure out where to go, what to look at. I mean, like, Smash sold like 32 million copies. How many of those 32 million people do you think are going to Google Anther's Ladder? Like 1,000 tops? Like, what's the most Anther's Ladder has ever had on it? You know what I mean? But like, compare that to Smash, like in the game where you can go and just play ladder all day as much as you want, where it's easier, where it's more accessible. Like, would it be amazing if, like, if Anthers had 10, 20,000 people on it? It's like, yeah, it would be, but it doesn't, and it never will, and it never did, even when it was popular, even when it was both Melee and Smash 4 using it. It never had that many people on it.
Yeah, I used it a lot to get better
Yeah.
when I was getting better at the game in Smash 4, but it was a lot more popular in Smash 4 because that was like shortly after Brawl, where All Is Brawl was a thing, and people were just super pumped about having that kind of ladder thing.
Yeah.
But now I go on there, I'm waiting literally 5 minutes for a queue, and that is just like you used to wait
You just can't
not
do
even
it.
5 seconds. So, but you can look here. There's 16,000 people on this ladder. Here's the Smashmate page. If I can see if it works. Does this take me back? Yeah, it takes me back to the other one. But you can see Mio, Yoshidora, Cola. Those are the top 3 players on the ladder. Crazy.
Well,
why we don't have it, I don't know.
It is crazy we don't have it, first of all. But, like, obviously there's a correlation because, like, playing more against better opponents is going to get you better. Like this is how it works. But obviously, like, Japan being much smaller than North America, like, you get better connections against better opponents.
And that's
quicker.
probably it.
The infrastructure for it's a lot better. And I imagine, that has a lot to do with it.
But like you see Hertz on there, Zaki, the DDD. He's still alive. Neo's on there. Sigma. Like, you're seeing all these good players. Hero. But we'll never get it.
No.
It's been there for a very long time. They're on season 21, so clearly it's been around for a long time.
That's crazy. They even get seasons? Man.
There's potential push for Anther's Ladder to come back. If it does, I suggest at least giving it a shot for the small life period it will have. Because it is a good time.
Bro, people don't even queue for West Texas queue, bro. You think they're going to go on Anther's Ladder?
No, I don't, unfortunately.
Matchmaking's even easier. It matches you up against people in your skill range. It's in Discord. You just click one button and you're in there.
Tell them what time that's at.
It's at 7 p.m. on Mondays till 10 p.m.
That's
Central.
crazy. How long that's been happening?
Maybe a month or two now. And there's even prizes now. Atsy gives out prizes at the end of the month.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Should get more people on there.
You would think. Mountain time, it's 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Whatever the heck mountain time is.
Yeah, that's made up time zone.
That's not real, dude. That's not real.
You said your week 1 results got deleted?
Okay, the week 1 was a test week. I had to figure out how to make it work first.
So, yeah. But that's kind of the recap portion of it. So now I kind of want to go into I think it's fun. I was thinking of this topic the other day because I was listening to JJ Redick's podcast, and they always talk about the welcome to the NBA moment.
Yeah.
Basically what that is when you're in the league and you realize, oh, these guys are good. Some players just like, oh, yeah, I tried to talk to Jordan, and Jordan told me to shut up, and then he dunked on me. I was like, that's when I realized I'm in the league, right? So everybody has that moment in competitive Smash.
Yeah.
Because everybody's story begins in Smash, and you cannot say it doesn't. It was, I was the best in my neighborhood, I was the best of my friend group, and then I thought I was the best in the world.
Yeah.
Then you go to a tournament, you get beat. It was going to be fun with all 3 of us, but since Grayson's sick, we're only going to do the 2 of us, and maybe Grayson shares later. But my welcome to Smash moment, I think, is hilarious. If you want, I'll go first. And then
you
so
go
can have a little
first.
more time.
I
So-
haven't even thought about it. So.
I have played competitive Smash Bros. For a long time. Yeah, I just played for a long time. I thought I was competitive, okay? I played Brawl a ton. I was a Toon Link player. Loved it. Toon Link Sonic, dude. I was on it. I thought I was the coolest kid in the world. Okay, and if you guys don't know, the reason why I got into Smash, got into TO, and got into like literally being a community lead was because of a guy named Dan. His tag is Trip Swag, and then it changed to PH Dan. Follow him on Twitch. He's actually Grandmaster in TFT.
Yeah.
Very good at TFT, and actually I think one of the he's popular in that scene. I know one time he played a game. They're like, "Are you the PH Dan?"
Yeah, I cannot believe his tag used to be Trip Swag. That's so funny.
Trip Swag. He would trip me. I mean, imagine having 2 bananas. Okay?
I'm gonna tweet at him right now.
Tweet at him like Trip Swag.
Yeah.
But so my sister is also another reason why I got into the game. She forced me to go to a tournament. She drove me there and said you had to enter. But she got me to play Dan in Smash because he was big into Brawl. And I was like, oh, I'm real good. I can beat Dan. And Dan was like, no, you can't beat me. I was like, yes, I can. I'm crazy good. And keep in mind, this was 2009, maybe 10. Okay? I am an 8th grader. Okay? So we go on Brawl Wi-Fi, play each other. And we're having some fun, he's just kind of playing, okay? And then he decided to go Falco.
Good character in Brawl.
I don't know if you guys know what Falco used to do to characters.
Chain grab, baby.
Yes. So this is what Dan did to me. All the way across FD, dude. Okay? Oh, there he is. Look at this. He grabbed me, and he did this to me.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I jumped there because I'm a kid, and your panic reaction is to jump. And you're like, oh, okay. This doesn't work on everybody. Okay? So what's it do again? He runs up to me. He's going to grab me, and I'm going to die. And as a... It's a dad. I got tweeted at. As a 12-year-old kid, I'm crying. Real tears. Okay? This man was destroying me with Falco. Okay? Then he'd switch to Diddy Kong. And if you guys didn't know, Diddy got 2 bananas. Alright? So this man was tripping me non-stop. What am I meant to do? I was like, I'm going to go Sonic. I'm too fast. Nope. Trip to kill. Okay? Then he beat me with Ganon, where I was thinking Ganon might be a good character. Okay? If y'all don't know, Ganon was so bad. He was the single worst character in any Smash game ever. That character is horrible. Destroyed me. And like you guys see in chat, I straight up was like, all right, my big sister and little sister, we got in. We tried to triple team them. We lost.
No way.
Wasn't even close.
You lost
Not
a 3v1?
close. Yes. We're on Congo Falls. Like, he was straight up destroyed us. And my sisters don't play any competitive game.
Yeah.
Or well, now they do, but for a time they did not. Okay? So I thought I was good. I beat them all the time. So it was just destroyed us all. I quit.
Uh-huh.
I was so sad. I did not play him again.
This is a habit of yours where you get beat really bad, start crying, and then quit.
I guess because it continues.
I think we're getting to the bottom of it,
Look,
man. I think Dan implanted something so deep inside of you, where you just like every time you lose, like that feeling creeps back in.
It comes back.
Yeah.
It continued though because he invited me to his crew. Okay, they're called Majestic Tragedy. Okay,
that's 2009 crew name if I've ever heard it, dude.
So I'm in this crew,
God.
and I'm talking shit to everybody in this chat, okay? I'm 12 years old. I'm playing this snake player. I don't know who the snake player is. I'm sure Dan knows who it is, okay? This guy is good.
Yeah.
He beat me so bad, I left the crew. I deleted it. I deleted my account. Gone. From existence. They never saw me again. He 3-stocked me every single game.
That's crazy.
And, yeah, that's how I always learned to understand where you're at. That's why I, like, Mickey Mouse was like, listen, it be what it be. I can't enjoy anything small anymore. But that was my welcome to Smash.
That's crazy.
It was very humbling. I did learn from it.
Dude.
Majestic Tragedy.
That's like an MCR track or something, bro. Like that's
they had a website and everything. It was sick. I was so pumped to be a part of it. But yeah, no, I got humbled pretty bad. And then I went to Smash 4. I did win a set. And then Dan beat me. Shocker. And yeah, so that's how I got introduced to Smash Bros.
So I didn't actually start competing until like a while after I was actually interested in Smash because I got into Smash because I was watching Evo 2013 and I watched
Okay.
Melee. And then I I watched that and shortly after Evo 2013 was Big House 4. And if you don't know, Big House 4 is like one of the greatest Melee tournaments of all time. And so that's when you had like Mango four stocking Leffen on FD and like people going crazy. This is like peak golden era Melee. And I was just like enamored. I was so enamored with Melee that I would literally have a CRT and a GameCube in the back of my car that I would take into lunch at during high school. I was in high school. I would take into lunch and I would practice tech skill like instead of eating. And that's how I would spend my lunch.
Oh wow.
And so I actually didn't start going to tournaments until later in 2014 when Smash 4 came out. My first tournament was at GameStop midnight release
Oh.
where there were 104 entrants all packed into this tiny GameStop, dude.
Oh my god.
And like obviously like
So this was DS one? Was this like?
yeah, this was the DS one.
Oh.
And so I ended up getting like fourth out of like 104. So I was like,
That's
man,
cool.
I'm kind of nice. I'm pretty good. So I was grinding Smash for 3DS, which is a miserable experience, by the way.
I was a DS player actually.
I remember I would study the VODs from Shockwave because they
Yeah.
were they were like the very first people to start doing 3DS tournaments. And so
Yeah.
it was like Austin Dinty Grand Finals like every single week in Smash for 3DS. And so eventually it came out on the Wii U, and I met some guy there at their midnight release who invited me to a tournament. I was like, yeah, I'd love to do that. And it was at Blockhouse Games in Mansfield,
Mm.
and that was my first like actual big tournament, a big tournament.
Yeah.
And I win my round one. I was like,
Let's go.
of course. I got fourth out of 104 at GameStop, bro. Of course I'm winning my round one. And then I played Aerolink round two. I don't know
Oh.
if you remember Aerolink.
I do.
He was pretty nice at the game, dude. He was pretty nice. And so he whooped me, dude. Like the fastest three stock I've ever experienced in my life. I think he was already playing Palu, and I think this was customs Palu, like at the time.
Oh my
So the
god.
character's just nuts.
Zoom in. The character's near.
Like I cannot keep up, and it was just ridiculous. Eventually, I think I ended the tournament 2-2. I like yourself. I didn't go back mostly because like it was like a 15-minute drive, and I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to drive 15 minutes to get whooped by Airlink like every week or whatever. But and then
Tournaments
yeah,
used to get super hype when or Salty Deserts would get hype because Aerolink and Iggy would come because
Yeah.
there's more custom tournaments.
Yeah.
They'd be grands every time.
yeah,
But I ended up like once I got like super back into it, like that first Salty Desert, there's a guy named Wang. I still remember my first loss. He up tilted me at ledge because I was ledge hanging, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I shook his hand mid game. I was like, dude, bro, that was sick. And it was just an up tilt ledge, but
yeah,
um, once I got into it, like I was so young. I was 18, I guess,
Yeah.
and like I was ready. I was like, I'm competing in everything. I did
Yeah.
go to a tournament in Lubbock. I drove in ice from Abilene to Lubbock,
yeah,
and I played. That's where I met Diani. We played Peach Mario because I learned the Mewtwo King down throw up tilt thing,
yeah.
and I used my DS as a controller.
Yeah.
And me and Diani had a Dragon Ball Z moment.
Uh-huh.
He just died first because I got hit off the top, I think.
Yeah.
So it was pretty sick. But yeah, no, like everybody has your story. I encourage you guys to think about it. Feel free to comment in the YouTube video, which I forgot to hit the record button, so I'll upload this VOD another way.
You can
But
just
make
rip
sure
the
you-
VOD off of Twitch. It's no big deal.
Just download it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So make sure you guys comment on it or talk about it in Discord or anything like that. But yeah, so at this point we still have about like 10 minutes left. So if you guys have any Twitch questions, feel free to post them in here and we'll answer them as we see them. And that being said, I'm going to make a small comment. I'm going to entertain this for literally 3 seconds. If we find any sort of bullying throughout anything in the scene, you will be permabanned. that's all we will say on that. Okay. And if you have anything else to report on that, feel free to come to me or Noah. But let's go ahead and take some Twitch chat questions. Yeah, dude, when I got beat, like Dan was beating me so bad. It's literally like that.
He seems like the type. Yeah.
He was laughing at me the whole time too.
Yeah. He seems
I
yeah.
know it. I know he's in his room right now laughing at me again, just thinking of what he did to me with Falco. It was Black Falco. I took him everywhere. I took him to Hyrule Temple. I took him like Frigate, Orpheon, like everywhere. And he just chain grabbed me. And I'll never forget it. I thought that was the most broken thing in the world. It was.
Well,
actually.
it was, yeah.
Will I ever come back to Smash? The answer is yes.
Dude, come back soon playing Pit. Only Pit.
In this game, probably not.
Come on.
If Ultimate Deluxe comes out, I'll at least give it a shot because it's going to be a balance patch. But if it's still majority of the same game, I'm playing other Smash games. I still play P+. I still play HDR, both of which are mods, which have very, 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 very small scenes.
Just come back.
But yeah.
Just come back.
I'm kind of happy playing Heroes of the Storm, dude. You should play with us. We had a blast yesterday.
Bro,
I was throwing people with Garrosh, dude.
I'm a master level player. You probably aren't good enough to play with me.
I was very close to diamond.
That's just how it is.
You should try it. It's fine.
Maybe. I'll think about it.
Yes, sir. Because Grayson's down. We just need to get 5 people.
I'll think about it.
Said Airlink was my sister's friend's brother. Okay, came over when I was 12 while I was sorting Pokemon cards. He saw it raw and asked me to play. He at my house for 2 hours and left.
That's how you gotta do it sometimes, man.
Okay, how to get better at Tarkov? He's a big novice right now. Isn't Tarkov that game where you have to escape from the prison?
I've never played Tarkov.
The answer to that question is don't get shot at, don't die, and win.
I mean, the same way you get better at anything, right? Practice, watch some VODs, figure out what you're doing wrong, and do it right instead.
Also, I would like to give a big shout out to Neon, who's in chat. Neon did make this logo for us. You can see it right here, as well as on the other tab. It's really the same thing. Really appreciate him doing this for us. That being said, if you guys have anything you guys want to create for us or anything like that, we'll always entertain it. And we'll kind of go from there with that. Any other Twitch questions? We've got a very slow amount. There's 11 of y'all in here. I know there's more Twitch chat questions y'all got. I can't believe it. I was just thinking back on that as like PTSD, though.
Yeah, it seems like you get easily triggered when you lose. So
when you get beat that bad,
yeah,
it hurts.
But now it feels like every time you lose, you feel that same way.
I wouldn't say that.
It's pretty close at the very least.
It's the Steph loss was.
Yeah.
The Worm loss was a.
Have you thought about talking to a sports psychologist or something? Try to figure this out.
Yeah, that costs a ton of money. And I don't got that right now, unfortunately. What are your opinions on Min Min in the current meta? I think Min Min is actually a really good counter pick character, but if you run into a bad matchup, no, she's not top 5 in my opinion.
That's what I was gonna say. Like one of the best counter pick characters in the game, probably.
I hate fighting her. I think that character is not fun. I think that character is, quite honestly, very toxic for a competitive game. But I don't think she's broken. I think there's a ton of other characters that are better.
Agreed. Favorite after tourney food join? That's a good
question.
Yeah.
So we have a few options. I mean, so throwback. Salty Desert. We used to go to this place. Oh my God! It was right down the road. It was a Mexican food place. We always got breakfast burritos. If you're still in here, please tell me the name. But that was always fun. Contendies is always a good option. Being Canes. What about you?
When we were in Abilene, it was always either Whataburger or Cane's because they were close, they're cheap, and they were open. Like most importantly. But if we ended early enough, sometimes we would hit up Chili's, get the 3 for me, the most broken deal of all time.
Yeah,
it's OP. So those are like our big ones, and even like still today, like after like we finish like events like with UTA and stuff, like we'll hit up a Chili's. Chili's goes crazy. So,
Dude, Chili's low key has some stuff. Like, and
dude,
the value deals are good.
I'm telling you, get the 3 for me. You get the chips and salsa, you get the Cajun pasta, and then you get a drink for free.
Oh, the Cajun pasta is where it's at.
The
Dude.
Cajun pasta goes so hard. It's the best thing on the menu.
I like the garlic bread there with it too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's never hard.
No, it's soft and it's succulent. Tastes great.
Yeah, it's a great option. We did once finish a Lubbock Smash tournament at the Whataburger by campus. We didn't. We got kicked out of the sub, and we went to Whataburger. They asked if they could hook up their system, and they did, and finished the tournament.
That's wild.
Those pictures, I think, are still on the Facebook page. I did not get to go to that. I think I had a band thing. I think it was during homecoming, so I had to do all that. But Deani was in charge of that. I think Deani won that. That might have been when Gimmicks was dominant. We'll take about 2-3 more.
Whataburger Journey with Flames. That's crazy. I would not want to do that ever in my life.
It was fun. Like, it was fun to look at.
Yeah,
We saw, like, after tourneys, like, food places are always a blast because, like, I always took photos and stuff, so people would be like, "Oh my God, they look like they're having fun," and then they want to go. But those were where you always had the best conversations, you know.
Yeah.
Built the scene and
Dude.
do all that. Really encouraged that.
Dude. One time we were at Whataburger after a tournament. It was me, and then all the guys that were in ACU, right, like the club team. Mm-hmm. And we're eating, we're chilling. People are talking about how they got into Smash and like what their first Smash game was. And they're talking about Brawl. They're talking about Smash 4. Finally, it gets to my turn. They're like, Noah, when did you start playing Smash? I looked at them and I said, oh, I had Smash 64 when it came out in 1999. I've been playing since then. And they looked at me and they said, Noah, you've been playing the game longer than we've been alive.
Oh,
I kid you not. I stood up and I walked outside because I felt like I was having like this existential crisis. Like I could not, like my brain, like I couldn't wrap my head around it. Like it shook me to my core.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man.
I didn't have Smash 64.
Yeah.
I did have a 64,
yeah.
but I did not have Smash 64. When I first played Smash, it was at my dentist. Because my dentist had a gaming thing, and he had Melee.
Yeah.
And I always wondered why there's 2 Peaches in the game.
Yeah.
I was like, why is there 2 Princess Peaches? One was Zelda, clearly, and one was Peach. But that's where I officially started. I mean, I did play Smash 64 with my friends when I lived on base, so that was what? Probably 2000, 2001 before the GameCube came out. And I was like, Pikachu fighting Mario! Like, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah. And it was.
I love Pikachu. Like, it was pretty dope. All right, chat. Any other questions? There's no way only 2 people ask questions. Y'all have the opportunity. Worm's in here. Architect. Algary. Gelada.
What's the hardest question chat has, dude? That's the one that's the one I want.
That's appropriate.
Appropriate or not? Your most difficult inappropriate question. Be sure to ask it right now.
Careful now. I do remember the release of when's the next giant that is a tough one actually. I do believe next week or no, 2 weeks.
Marry your mate or die, what do you choose? Well, I guess it's a pretty easy choice, right? It's you either die
Well, I mean, it's not because, like, I will answer your question in a second, S tier. But, like, let's say your main's Ness. Like, you ain't gonna marry Ness.
You have to or you die. I mean, I'm not saying it's ethical to do so, but I'm saying you will die if you don't. So.
See, mine's an electric mouse. So, like.
Yeah. When y'all come into El Paso, brother, I live in Dallas, Fort Worth. When are you coming here? For LTC, True. I would hope.
I don't play singles.
Come on.
There is
By the time LTC comes around, you'll be the pit guy.
Well, did you look at the price?
It's like the same price as every other big event.
It's $100.
Yeah, so
Not for LTC.
it'll be good. It's at the esports stadium. That's gas.
Yeah, it is cool, but Ultimatum was not $100 and was the same thing.
Okay, it's not the same thing. First,
I'm not worried about the Game and Watch matchup. I'm worried about Steve and Min Min. I hate those two characters, and I don't like just thinking of fighting them makes me want to.
Just swap to Pit and believe in yourself more.
You'll vote yes on Steve Ben. Now that's something we could talk about. How many buffs do you think Sephiroth needs to be a viable solo main in Ultimate, or do you think he can't be fixed? And okay, well here's the thing. He's not mid tier. Second off, the issue with a lot of these
I'm too curry pilled to answer this question. So it's all you.
This is a good question because this kind of goes into a lot of buffs that people kind of want and stuff. A lot of these high tier characters, if you buff them, they get broken. Sephiroth is one of those characters. Wing is too crazy for him to get buffed because once he hits, with Wing he's top tier. Okay, add a buffed part of the game with Wing, he's crazy. I guess the small thing you say he should not be the same weight as Pikachu. So maybe buff his weight a little bit.
If he was just like a little heavier and a little faster, like I think he kind of gets there. But.
Yeah, he would be absolutely crazy good. But there's a lot of characters. Like I always say, Pit, if you give him a little more airspeed, I think, or make his arrows a little faster, the character's incredible. You can't give him better frame data because then with Wing he's going to be nuts. You look at characters like Falco. What if you give Falco a little more move speed? Character's nuts. You know? No. I just think they need to tone some stuff down. Min Min needs more lag. If they use both arms, similar to the Bayonetta, where if she uses a lot of moves, she has lag. You look at Steve. We could do a whole podcast on Steve nerfs. Sora is okay. Who else is crazy? Joker's honestly another example of a great top tier.
Yeah, I agree.
So overall, it's really just the last two characters. Pyra Mythra kind of suck, in my opinion.
Well, no. See, you want to know the real issue with Pyra Mythra?
Go ahead.
Pyra Mythra probably has the best neutral in the entire game out of anybody in the cast. But you don't have to play neutral in Ultimate, so it doesn't matter. it just doesn't matter.
Sheik problems. Make Sheik good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. To answer the question earlier, when is the next big West Texas tournament? There isn't one. TOs don't know what they're doing enough to have one. So
true. That we haven't heard. No one posts anything. It's never an announcement. It's in tourneys. It's in one channel only and never in the other. El Paso's going to have one. Hopefully,
that's probably your best
travels.
shot. So
the issue is our top players don't like to travel to El Paso for some reason, and Abilene doesn't travel. Desync 2 is Desync 3? No, it's 2 because
I own the logo. I have the logo for Desync 2. But unfortunately, as I was planning it, I got a better paying job in my hometown. So, well, not unfortunate for me, unfortunate for y'all, I guess. I would love to run another one at some point, but I think it's kind of past my. I don't know the right word. I don't think it's like my obligation to host it anymore. I guess is the better way to put it.
There's a new generation of TOs that need to
step up,
do their thing. So. Yeah, no, it's. If you guys didn't get to go to Desync, I loved your tournaments, Noah.
They were the best.
They were awesome.
Simply put, they were the best.
Desync was awesome. I did go to Smash on the Hill as well.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to 2 Smash on the Hills because the first one was Dan's, Trip Swag, who abused me earlier, and then Noah's Smash on the Hill, both of which I had a great time at. So yeah, if Noah does host a tournament, which he does every single Friday.
I don't. My students do.
His students do, which therefore you do in Seoul.
Host
a tournament on Fridays, and you can check it out at UTA.
Yep.
I forgot what it's. Mav Mayhem.
Yep.
And it's cheap.
Start.gg/Mav Mayhem. It's $5. Starts at 7 p.m. Fridays.
So the only person in chat I think is in that area is Steph, and Steph, you should go.
Oh, the one thing I did want to say, the reason that TOs have such a hard time, I took months to plan my events. Which
they don't try to do this like 1 month, 7,000 pot bonus tourney. Like you advertise that thing for so long, and not only that, you also convince people from DFW to come, which ended up being one of the funniest moments in West Texas history.
Yeah,
with Denty just getting absolutely obliterated by a flag. Just grabbed his things and left. That was the fastest.
I had to chase him out the venue so I could give him his payment.
That was so funny. And then so
maybe next time we can talk about that a little bit. Where TOs just need more time to be able to plan good events.
To be a TO.
Because if you don't have time to plan good events, you don't get good events. That's just how it works.
So, with that, we're going to go ahead and end the podcast. Make sure you guys go on the YouTube page, subscribe to comment on it, your favorite part of it, and also suggest us topics. I go throughout the week and kind of see what's going on in West Texas, go on and see what's going on throughout the world, and then kind of talk about whatever the heck I want to talk about because it is my show. But in the end, if you guys have things you guys want to hear about, tell me. I'm open to all ideas. Oh, 5 foot. Yeah, bro, Scal. You came at the wrong time. But yeah, no, we're going to also talk about... Yeah, he's going to have to watch it when I upload it and get the VOD. But no, we'll talk about other things. I mean, Dubs is something me and Grayson did say we want to talk about. Noah is a very accomplished TO. Talk about all that stuff. We do have collegiate stuff we could talk about. I mean, there's all sorts of different things we could talk about with Smash Bros, which is what's really cool about this game in general.
World politics.
We'll kind of stay away from that one.
Who knows?
We'll probably stay away, but who knows? Maybe it involves
Keep
Smash.
That topic for your Twitch questions next week.
Yeah, because as New Heights says, if you guys watch any sports podcast, there's no dumb questions. With that, though, we are going to go ahead and sign off for the day. So thank you guys for tuning in. Noah, is there anything you want to plug before you go?
Shout out to Monday Night Matchmaking in the West Texas Discord server. Be sure to check that out. It's very cool. It's free. There's prizes, and you get to play against a bunch of people from all across West Texas in order to win those prizes. It's very fun. It's very easy. You just click one button, and you get matched up with an opponent who's near your skill level. And if they're not your skill level, then your rating will get lowered or raised so that your next match will be even closer. Definitely check that out. Again, that's 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Time on Monday evenings, or 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. if you're a freak who lives in the mountains.
Yep. And heavily suggest that. I've done it many times. It's been a blast because everybody there wants to get better. You sometimes play the same people multiple times, so you get that chance. And we are open to other people entering, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
I've seen some guests. If you guys are interested in doing that, prizes clearly will change if you are not a part of the West Texas scene, but the more people we have in there, the more games we have, and the better you get. That's the whole purpose of it, is that you get to play people from our region and get better, right? You get to play in a serious set. You get to potentially record your set and rewatch them. You get good stuff throughout the week when we don't, without having to travel. Yes, it's online. You have to play online to get better, but that's another topic for another day. But yeah, outside of that, I'll just shout out Noah, the G, you guys going on the show, Steph for making the logo, everything like that. You guys in Twitch chat for helping us come up with some questions and everything like that. And Dan for forcing me to get destroyed multiple times and
causing lifelong trauma.
Yeah,
that he's still not over. That he should go see a sports psychologist about.
So shout out to Trip Swag. All right, someone give me some money so I can go to a sports psychologist and get back into Smash. Just kidding.
You're gonna come back as the greatest pit, dude.
I'm going to be the greatest pit in the world. Oh, I just scared my dog. All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in today. We will see you next week, 8 p.m.
I'll be at RNG, so I don't know if I'll be there, but...
So Noah might not be there. I will be. And then the week after, I will not be there.
I'll be at the big house after that week, so...
So we'll go ahead and see. But thank you guys for tuning in today. And that's how we'll end it. Bye, guys.